Yo guys, namaskaram. So in this video, I wanted to talk about resilience. In one of my last videos, I had touched upon it very briefly that cultivating resilience is a good thing, but probably just wanting to go a little bit deeper on what it actually means and just helping both you and me to develop a deeper understanding on this word because it's very important when life hits you with challenges that you're resilient. So, one of the first principles is just letting go of the need within to feel good all the time. Why I am saying that is because, let's say, when you want to feel good all the time, you start chasing things which numb you. A lot of people go into these patterns of addiction simply because they want to feel good all the time, or if I have to put it in another way, it means you have to numb yourself from the pain that life is kind of throwing at you. So resilience is not a very fancy word. It simply means that you embrace pain and you are just getting better each and every time with practice to feel bad. So it's a practice in getting better for feeling bad, if that makes sense, because the more we deny pain in our lives, the more we betray our long term self, the more we betray that growthful, that cheerful individual that comes on the other side when we are, let's say, sheathing ourselves like a sword on the stone repeatedly. So, always having a self reflective question is, how am I challenging or embracing my pain right now? Is there a lot of fear within? How am I kind of reducing that fear in very minor steps? Which things am I denying? Which things that need my attention right now? Like, why am I denying that? I think writing, or maybe just helping you uncover these deeper patterns within you is very important, so that you're at least stable within your own mental health. And then the next thing would come to just attack or pick the things that you are avoiding or not wanting to feel bad about. That could be a good story. Maybe you can come back to this comment section, see, write how you challenged yourself, how you changed yourself in this process. Which brings me to one more point. So, this is actually a story which I think makes a lot of sense. I had read this back when I was in my graduation years. So what had happened? I think there were like three people who were building a statue of sorts. So a person kind of went to three different people, three different stone cutters, asked each one of them that what is it they are doing. So the first one had replied that I'm just cutting stone. The second one had replied that I'm just building a statue. And the third one had replied that I'm building a statue which people would come and pay their respects to. I'm building a legacy for people to visit. So you see, it's the same work, but the way, the story with which we kind of frame the same activity makes a lot of difference in our own being. So I think resilience also kind of works in a certain way that whatever challenges life has thrown at you, think of it as something beautiful would come out in the future because of you facing these challenges right now. I know it's hard. This is not a sweet pill video that life wouldn't tear you up. It would. There are like a lot of challenges which just tears people apart. But when those challenges come, the story that we tell ourselves as to how those challenges are really shape the experience, and you can say our own being for that matter. How you choose to, you can say, respond or perceive that situation determines the quality of long term outcomes that you will take in life. I know it's easier said than done, but that's where kind of this life has been given to you. That how many years you have, make the best use of it. Make sure that each and every day there's some frustrating or repetitive task that needs your attention, and how you can make it more loving, more joyful. Because when you're, let's say, moving forward, I think that's a rule that whatever kind of gives you stress, It's all happening on a psychological level. uh, from from a natural view, let's say from a nature's point of view. If the river is flowing, right, and there's a stone in between the river just moves on the side and still keeps flowing. So I think in the similar way, a lot of processes happen naturally, but all these stressors and tensions that you give to yourself is very psychologically very disturbing. And if they're giving you stress, like, introspect, what are the expectations, the reasons, the causes that it's giving me so much stress. And when you start to reframe the story, that makes a lot of difference. So again, there was like one more story which comes to my mind in tandem with this. It was when President John F. Kennedy was visiting the NASA headquarters. It was during that time when there was a race between the USSR and the USA. It would be the first to reach the moon. And he was going through that floor, and there was a janitor just cleaning the floor. And then he famously replied to, like, Mr. Kennedy, that I'm just helping put a man on the moon. So again, that same principle from that story kind of comes back into action. Whatever daily things that you're going through, whatever daily tasks that we have, try connecting it to a larger vision. Some people find their work as an expression of the gods that they believe in. That can also be a good way, because then you're doing things from a center which is very different. A lot of people who are not so serious in life become very serious, let's say when they have a wife or they have kids. They start working extra hard. Why? Because now they have to put food on the table. They have a responsibility for, let's say, the family, the people that they love. So that's also a good way. But in general, I think the day-to-day rephrasing that happens, the day-to-day actions that you choose, and the story that you attach to them is very important. Even if you're going through a hard time, even if there's a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, I think sometimes just ignoring them makes a lot of difference. Just continue walking the path that speaks to your heart is important. And yeah, those were like my 2 to 3 cents. Let me know what you feel about this video. And until then, this is Debashish Pindra from Debu Ki Dastak signing off. Cheers.